Colorado.
Yes, sir. Got W.
They beat North Dakota State.
North Dakota State, which is a good opponent, but we'll go ahead and get to that.
Yes, they are the Alabama of the
Alabama
lower league.
of the FCS. Absolutely.
They were.
Still are. Alabama haven't won a couple years. See?
So, just to throw some super quick stats out. So, we had my man Miller. He went 18 for 22, 277 yards, and 1 touchdown. Yeah. You had Shedeur go 26 for 34 with an impressive 445 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 pick. So, you know, I mean, and then, of course, what's his name? Jalen Horn? Is it
Jimmy Horn Jr.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say Horn Jr. My man went off for 7 receptions, 198, and a touchdown. And I forgot how many touchdowns what's his name scored.
He scored
Travis Hunter.
Right.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. I think he had like a $190 himself.
He had about like 130, so somewhere around there.
No, I think it was 132. Yeah. 7 for 32.
No problem. Yep.
All right, so this is how I look at the game, right? I can understand Deion's point of view when he was like, "I'm happy we won, but I'm not happy overall."
Yeah,
like I can understand him saying that, because like let's be honest, possession time, North Dakota State had the ball for 36 minutes and 44 seconds compared to them having the ball for 23 minutes and 16 seconds. So that's something that they need to work on is time of possession. Their defense for Colorado, to me, this is just me, my personal thought, their defense needs to work on that pressure because to me, they weren't getting too much pressure. An upgrade I would give Colorado is Shedeur didn't die. So, he didn't get hit 500 times like he did last year, which showed why he had 445 yards and 4 touchdowns. You know what I mean? I said overall, it was a good game. And it was only week 1. So, mistakes happen in week 1. You learn in week 1. You try to expand, going forward. I do feel like they need to work on the defense. I feel like, Warren Sapp's a defensive line coach, yes, right? All right, maybe he needs to start yelling at people more.
Trust me, Warren Sapp is very. He's kind of cuckoo. He's
cuckoo for the cocoa. Anyway. I feel like they need to work on that pressure because if you can't get pressure on North Dakota State, like,
that's true,
bro,
that's true.
You're gonna have a problem with these better squads. Like, you know what I mean?
That's true.
It's just it is what it is. Like I said, offensively they did great. Defensively they got to work. You know what I mean? Because like I said, old boy Miller was finding everybody on third down like it was first down. Sure. So, that's just my personal take. Going forward, I wouldn't hit the panic button. But they have stuff to work on. And I personally, it's my personal thought. You guys go off of this and go crazy as much as you want. I don't see them, as of right now, after week 1, as a playoff team.
Okay.
Whoever wants to go, you got it.
You gonna go? Shut up.
Go, Dave.
Sure. Okay. So, I'll start off with that. I'm very proud of Colorado. I watch all their videos, shout out to 3 channels, the pregame show with Uncle Nearly, shout out to Reach People Media with Darius Sanders, and shout out to Well Off Media with Deion Jr., aka Bucky. So watch the videos come out every day. So, but just to piggyback off what you said, I think a couple of things is good. People kind of get on their O-line a little bit. I think their O-line did a solid. I'll give them a B, not a B+, not an A-, not an A+, but a solid B on the fact that Shedeur had around over 50 dropbacks. He only got 1 sack. He got hit a couple times. 2 of them should have been late hits. But compared to what we seen, like I said, last year, the O-line significantly improved, in my opinion. Now, wide receivers, we already know. I mean, Travis Hunter, he's an alien. Travis Hunter is an NFL star playing college football right now. Same with Shedeur. These guys are – they could have won the first 2 rounds last draft. And, but these guys are absolute elite. Shout out Jimmy Horn Jr. He's going to be a first-round guy himself easily with almost 200 yards. Then you have, LaJohntay Wester with over 58, just another speedster. You got Will Shepard. You got Timmons Jr. You got so many. Their Draymond Miller, their wide receiver room is absolutely stacked. I think the best in the nation. I know I'm a little biased, but I think that they have guys that are just dudes that are at a certain level. Defensive wise, yes. Two coaches is Damian Lewis. He also played for the Texans in the NFL. You got Warren Sapp and Coach Dancy, but they definitely need to work on with pressure because they got guys that are absolutely animals, like BJ Green, Arizona State guy who destroyed Buffs last year. Tyrion Carter. They got Shane Cokes, guys like that. To do some pits, guys like that can absolutely terrorize the O-line. But for some reason they just couldn't. Besides Chidoze, they couldn't produce it on the field. But I'm not too worried about that because they're gonna bounce back. I know that for them. The linebackers a little slow in my opinion, but they got guys like Trevor Woods, safety to the linebacker, who's gonna absolutely keep balling out. So I'm not too worried about defense too much. But you said they got to improve because you can't break through to NDSU teams like next week Nebraska and stuff like that. Especially the Big 12 is hard, really hard now. You're gonna struggle if you can't improve. But I'm not too worried. Shedeur did his thing, 400 yards, 445 yards. Excuse me. I'm not too worried. But I am happy though to speak on this because as we all know that there's so many the hit pieces of middle-aged certain type of men that are hating on Colorado, especially Deion Sanders, because they hate how confident Deion is. Where they wanted NDSU to win so bad, they're praying on it. I mean, they were legitimately praying that North Dakota State University beats them because they want Deion gone so bad. I want to tell them that go suck a giant toe. You know what I'm saying? Take that. And as Deion said, you have to wait till. I know y'all mad that we won. Gonna have to wait till next week. You know what I mean? So in their faces because guys like I told you about before Sean Keeler, aka the basement dweller, who called Deion Kool-Aid, the Bruce Lee of BS, the deposition Deion, and so many other foul names. And then the media gets mad at Deion for taking action and banning him, which is crazy because I've seen coaches do that before, but somebody's only problem with Deion does it. Whatever. Besides the point. They're mad at him for taking action on that, even though the guy's doing personal attacks. I don't care if you're a sports columnist, sports writer, no matter what you are. You have to keep a level of professionalism to what you're writing about. And calling someone Deion Kool-Aid and a false prophet is absolutely crazy. And then you got them talking about before. There's gambling problems in the locker room. There's guns and drugs. They're having orgies. It gets so
that locker room sound lit.
It's Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, literally, the real life Grand Theft Auto. It's absolutely ridiculous. I
play for him.
The narrative that they're trying to push on Colorado is ridiculous. So the guy I'm gonna shout out. Who played a big part of these hit pieces. Steve Corridor and Sean Keeler. I want you guys to know that nobody cares about you guys' blogs. You guys are like 50-year-old white men that write these blogs and hate on Colorado. Whatever, who cares? Because guess what? Get a real job. I mean, you guys are writing. If Deion and them is so bad and irrelevant, especially Paul Feinbaum on ESPN with Stephen A., and they're so relevant, why are you talking about them? Can you answer that? Why? What's about them? I mean, nobody cares about your blogs. That's irrelevant. I mean, it's not the 90s no more. Nobody even cares about sports blogs anymore. We have Twitter. We have the X. We have it. Nobody cares about sports blogs. Like, who gives a shit about sports blogs? I mean, really? Who? How are you getting paid? You know what? Sean Keeler said himself, I'm doing it because bills need to be paid. So you know who feeds you, and you're biting the hand that feeds you. So, shout out to those two guys. They're very relevant. They suck at what they do. They are, fry baggers at McDonald's if they didn't have their little sports balls. They are absolute losers and they're basement dwellers. And yeah, and everybody who hates on Deion, personal attacking them and calling the Buffs the HBCU Buffs. Yes, they're calling them the HBCU Buffs. That's what they're doing now. It's okay because they're going to continue to prove you guys wrong on that. This team is legit and that, to get on them. Only won 4-8 last year. Well, the year before that, they won 1-11. You know how hard it is to do at D1 FBS level to have a whole turnaround like this? What Deion's doing is historic. but they can go ahead and keep hating on that. I'm proud of. I know it's a tough win. I'm not always satisfied, but I am proud that they got it because it's won. It's won, and now next week we're going to Cornhusker Nation, a bunch of fat farmers who have nothing to do in Nebraska. Talking about they all hate Deion too. Talking about, oh my gosh, Deion is that. He's a fake coach. He's just the Buff's not a serious program. He's out of there. Who sent their kids there? I mean, who sent your kids to your school? I mean, what else is in Nebraska besides the college? I mean, what college is eating grass and shitting everywhere? I mean, what else is there? Let me know. Both of you guys.
Dave,
Ben and Jack, can you tell me what's in Nebraska besides cows shitting on grass? Go ahead.
I mean, that part, I don't know. I can't.
Exactly. There's nothing in Nebraska. There's nobody even knows what city. Wait, what is it? Is it even real? I mean, who besides the college? Tell me who lives in Nebraska? All we know about that tornadoes and literally and pigsties and that's about it to me. I mean, I never heard of anything. No news. Nothing about that. So they're lucky to even be playing the Colorado to get some. Because nobody cared about them. I mean, next week they got a big game versus Dylan Raiola, the fake Patrick Mahomes. We understand, his old corny little look. He's a great quarterback. True freshman from Buford High School in Georgia, one of the best high schools in the country. Dude's coming out, he's balling out. True freshman. But
you know what's so funny about that? I didn't realize who he was until you stated his name before. The fake Patrick Mahomes. But look, he popped up on my TV, right? I was watching Game Day, and it was kind of on mute, so I wasn't hearing him. Yeah. And I saw this dude. I'm like, is that Patrick Mahomes? Exactly. He had the whole getup. Yeah. I was like, is this guy cosplaying as Patrick Mahomes? He's cosplaying as him. I didn't realize he was the actual a starting quarterback in a D1 program until you said that. I was like, oh shit, that's him. What weird shit is that?
Very big name. Last year, Nebraska had a horrible quarterback in Jeff Sims. I mean, that dude. I wouldn't be shocked if you see him being a cashier at Stop and Shop or something like that. I mean, he was absolutely atrocious. But this year,
they have Stop and Shops in Nebraska.
I don't think they even have a grocery store in Nebraska. Nobody lives there. Besides nobody lives. It's farmland. Nobody who cares about Nebraska. I'm wrong. They got one person, surprisingly, who actually lives there, who actually grew up there. Terrence Crawford, the boxer. Other than that, nobody from Nebraska. I mean, there's nobody from Nebraska. But Ben, I'm going all day. You can go ahead and get your thing out because I'm ready for next week. Next Saturday, 7:30. The Cornhuskers, those big old fat guys who farm, they're gonna feel it. But
all right, so it sounds like we should be riding for Prime, right?
Absolutely riding for Prime, 100%. Only because not only because we're gonna get to that later. The Dallas Cowboys, but him being attacked so much, I love it because as someone who keeps God first and stuff like that, he's so positive. Mm-hmm. But you have these people who call him negative. But aren't they negative? I mean, they literally attack him for nothing. I'm not gonna get on maybe why. I mean, I think but it's kind of crazy. I'm going for him just because this is historic. We're watching someone who turned around a horrible program in Colorado era to the point. Remember, before he came, they couldn't sell their own stadium, which is only 50,000 seats, which is not big for college football, but they couldn't sell that out. They had free tickets. Now they're sold out every game. I mean, you people still on Reese to watch. I mean, his impact, they call it the Prime Effect. Literally, Rick George, the athletic director, said the Prime Effect. Over $113 million were made in 6 home games last season because of Deion, because of local businesses. How amazing! No one else doing that. They get the most viewership over teams like Alabama, Georgia, everyone. I mean, 5.6 million viewers last Thursday, the biggest Thursday opening game in the last 7 years. I mean, if they're so by Paul Feinbaum, if they're so irrelevant, why do people still watching? If they're so irrelevant, I want to know. But as Paul Feinbaum, he's an old school sports analyst who's drying out. Nobody cared about him anymore. Just like Deion said, nobody cared about him. So he needs to route to headlines to get himself in the business. Because who cares? I mean, these guys are just old raggedy scones, but the jagaloons writing fucking blogs. Who cares? Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Before I please go ahead. Thank you.
I'm gonna keep it short because Dave went off on a tangent there.
Ridiculous.
Let
My man Dave ran the whole segment.
Yeah. So let me keep it short. Going back to the game just a little bit, I will say the D line, like not being able to get the pressure. I didn't like that, and they weren't disciplined at all in like their lanes because the quarterback was just. If there was it was holes all over the place. He's just running it, or like just finding an open guy. It was just it wasn't great, but it's the first game, so I'm not gonna go too crazy.
Absolutely.
The offense looks good. Shedeur looks amazing. I can't even front. The wide receivers are top notch. I hope that they get the running game going in the future, but we'll see. We'll see. I will say this, right? They have a couple games. I'm looking at the schedule right here. I feel like if they are who we think they are, they can kind of like catch their groove. Nebraska, Colorado State, Baylor, UCF. There's 4 games where I'm like, all right, get on your horse, show what you could do, and then the real schedule kicks in. The last 7 games, we're gonna see what they really are. If they're actually good, because they got 5 ranked opponents in the last 7 games. So I want to see what you can do. You got Kansas State, Arizona, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, and then they wrap it up with Oklahoma State.
Those are tough teams. Those are some real teams.
Like I said, they got 5 ranked teams in the last 7 games. We're gonna see what they really are made of.
Absolutely.
And I'm curious.
Absolutely.
I'm curious. I hope they can take care of Nebraska and Colorado State and Baylor. That should honestly they should be able to handle that. If they are who we think they are. But the last 7 though, it's gonna show exactly how good they are, how good or how bad they are.
Yeah. A lot of people are hoping that they lose. Hoping how bad they are. A lot of people are hoping worse.
That comes without saying. Look, you got haters everywhere. We get it, So it is what it is. But I want to see, what they got. Because Shedeur, look, I'm taking it game by game. He looked awesome. I need to see that against better competition. Hopefully with the O line is actually better. They played okay. But you got some real big boys coming. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I 100% agree with you. One thing I'll give Shedeur is he said, I love tough moments because I call it Brady time. And as much as I can't stand Tom Brady, that dude was amazing.
From a kid, I have to train with him, mentored him. I mean, it paid off.
Yes, I'm saying. So it showed.
I'm a guy
he doesn't get
for later stuff.
He doesn't
I'm
get
a guy who hates Tom Brady. So, but thank you for mentoring him. I mean, in next segment we're gonna see why. Hopefully, go ahead.
Well, like I said, and when it comes down to all the haters and everything against Deion, as the name of this podcast and how it goes, who cares?
Who cares?
So
who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares, buddy? Go back to the basement. All right, go ahead.